look tired today. Are you okay? 이렇게 미국인들한테 절대 물어보시면 안 됩니다. 그 미국인 듣는 사람이 I look tired today, so they're telling me that I look bad? 그러면은 걱정 있을 때 어떻게 얘기하는 게 좋을까요? 바로 안녕하세요 여러분들. 여러분들의 영어 선생님 가브리엘입니다. 오늘은 아주 재미있는 주제에 대해 얘기할 거예요. 한국 학습자들을 잘 모르는 실수가 있어요. 근데 미국인들을 바로 알 거예요. These are mistakes that Americans know, but Koreans might not. So I'm going to tell you 5 of these mistakes so you don't make them in the future. Are you ready? Number 1. Asking about age. 바로 나이 물어보기. 이거는 한국인들이 아주 흔하죠. 그냥 문화예요. 자연스럽습니다. When Korean people meet, they often ask about age to decide if they're going to speak 존댓말 or 반말. So a lot of times I've heard, how old are you? 몇 살이세요? 근데 이렇게 미국인들한테 절대 물어보시면 안 됩니다. 근데 이거 왜일까요? In America, our social and cultural ties do not include age. Most of the time, even in offices, we just call each other by name. So this age is not important. 오히려 실례일 수 있어요, 물어보면. 예를 들면, if you meet someone at a cafe, 나이가 궁금할 수도 있잖아요. Should I call them using 존댓말 or maybe 오빠 or 형? So you ask, how old are you? 그 미국인 어떻게 생각할까요? 왜 물어보지? 내가 나이 많아 보이나? 이렇게 생각할 거니까 절대 물어보면 안 됩니다. 그러면 그런 상황에서 어떻게 해야 돼요? 바로 small talk. This is kind of conversation that is not that important, but a good way to start a conversation. Questions like, so, what do you do? Where are you from originally? Or do you come to this cafe often? These are great questions to start a conversation that don't include age. 그리고 두 번째, number 2. This is direct orders. 좀 물 주세요. 이렇게 한국말을 자주 하니까 이거 해석하면 give me water please. 근데 이거 영어로 하면은 명령처럼 들어요. 한국 학습자들은 please 붙이니까 괜찮겠지? 근데 어떨 때 그거는 괜찮은데 대부분은 please만 붙이면 아직도 명령처럼 들으니까 다른 방법이 쓰는 게 좋아요. 그럼 어떻게 해야 돼요? 바로 질문으로 바꾸는 겁니다. 어떻게 할 수 있어요? Could you get me a water please? 아니면 would you mind grabbing me a water please? 아니면 친한 사이로 can I get a water please? 아니면 can I get a coffee please? 여기는 질문 아니어도 질문으로 바뀌는 게 좋아요. 왜냐면 그거는 좀 더 공손하게 얘기하는 게 좋으니까요. 그리고 세 번째, 이거는 바로 칭찬입니다. 아이고, 칭찬은 어떻게 나쁠 수도 있어요. 근데 어색할 수 있어요, 여러분들. 제가 한국에 와서 칭찬 많이 받았던 게 아이고, 얼굴이 진짜 작다. 아니면 와, 눈이 크다. 아니면 와, 이거 피부 진짜 하얗다. 근데 이거 다 미국에서 칭찬 아니에요, 여러분들. 예를 들면 얼굴이 작다. 내가 처음에 들었을 때 thank you? 이거 좋은 말인가 나쁜 말인가? 그리고 저 같은 경우에는 피부가 되게 하얗다. 근데 미국에는 이런 하얀 피부가 그렇게 좋지는 않아요. 아파 보이고 약간 거기에는 조금 더 건강한 브라운 톤이 조금 더 좋아요. 왜냐면은 더 건강해 보이니까요. 그래서 이 칭찬은 하지 마시고 어떻게 칭찬해야 돼요? 보통 미국에는 능력, 스타일, 분위기 이런 칭찬하는 게 좋아요. 예를 들면, 와, you look great today. Or, did you change your hairstyle? Something looks really fantastic. 아니면, you have a really warm smile. 이렇게 얘기하는 게 좋아요. 외모에서 얘기 안 하셔도 됩니다. 그냥, wow, did you change something? You look great today. 충분합니다. 그리고 네 번째, number 4. 통화할 때나 서로 얘기할 때 잘 안 들을 때 있잖아요. 그럼 어떻게 얘기하는 게 좋을까요? 제 학생들이 이런 경우가 있어요. What? Excuse me? What? 이렇게 얘기 안 하시는 게 좋아요. 그러면 이럴 때 어떻게 얘기하는 게 좋을까요? What should I say? 바로 Could you repeat that please? Or would you mind saying that again? 이렇게 질문으로 얘기하는 게 굉장히 좋습니다. 너무 짧게 얘기 안 하는 게 좋아요. What? 하지 말고 What did you say? Could you say that one more time please? Would you mind repeating that for me? Good. 그리고 마지막 number 5. 친구가 아니면 동료가 좀 피곤해 보여요. 뭔가 요즘 힘든 일이 있어요. 그래서 다가와서 어떻게 얘기해요? 오늘 좀 피곤해 보이는데 괜찮아요? 이거 영어로 어떻게 할까요? 바로 You look tired today. Are you okay? 근데 이거는 미국인한테 얘기하시면 안 됩니다. This means you look tired. 피곤해 보여요. 그럼 그 미국인 듣는 사람이 I look tired today? So they're telling me that I look bad? 이렇게 받아들이는 경우 아주 많습니다. 사실 저도 그랬어요. 처음에 왔을 때. Now I actually use the phrase 피곤해 보이는데 괜찮아요? In Korean a lot because I know that I'm showing that worry about that person. But 영어로 쓰면 안 됩니다, 여러분들. 그러면은 걱정 있을 때 어떻게 얘기하는 게 좋을까요? 바로 How are you feeling today? It seems like, something's wrong. Are you doing okay? 이렇게 얘기하는 게 좋아요. Don't say you look tired today. 받아들이는 사람은 좋게 반응하지 않을 거예요. Now, today we talked about 5 different things. We talked about when they're okay to say in Korean, but not okay to say in English. Now, if you want to study these kinds of things, when you say it in English, but that's not what a native would say, look at my book and internet 강의. We specifically study the Korean style of translating versus the native style of speaking, and we compare them to show you the best way to say them. Now, this is a very effective way of learning, and we not only do that, we also talk about certain situations to use phrases. When this phrase is right, or in this situation, a different phrase would be better. These are all included in the internet lecture, and this is something that I really wanted to share with you. So let's get better at English together. Bye-bye! This is a very useful phrase when we're going to a cafe. 안녕하세요. 라떼 하나 주세요. 무지방 우유로 해주시고 거품은 많이 넣어주세요. 위에 시나몬도 조금 뿌려주세요. This is definitely going to happen if you go to the States and you're visiting someplace. You're going to need to explain what you want to drink in English, right? That's why we're going to teach you. Our 한국인 학습자들은 Hello, give me the latte but non-fat milk and put lots of foams and put cinnamon on it, please. And our native speakers Hi, I'd like a latte with non-fat milk, extra foam, and a sprinkle of cinnamon on top, please. Let's talk about the differences. Here, I'd like and give me. 한국어로 하면은 주세요 하잖아요. 주세요, 주시겠어요. But when you translate this, it becomes give. 근데 이거로 give me 하면은 it's rude. It's too direct. 명령같이 들려요. You cannot say this. Instead, I'd like. I'd like. 뭔가 주문할 때 항상 I'd like. Good. I'd like a latte with. If you're ordering something in a cafe, always with. Not but, with. With non-fat milk. With soy milk. With. Good. Non-fat milk, extra foam. Now, here we have we have a spelling error. You might think like, Koreans won't make this kind of mistake, but I have seen this lots of times, especially because foam, pom, it sounds like form. So this R often gets put in here. So this is saying, I'm just telling you guys, don't think that it's too easy for you. This kind of mistake happens a lot, and there's no problem with that. But if you make a mistake, then we have to fix it, right? So look at your mistakes, fix them, and then next time we can do it right. So the next one, and put cinnamon on it, please. 이것도 약간 명령스럽게 들려요. Put cinnamon on it, please. Put it on there. Instead, sprinkle. A sprinkle of cinnamon on top, please. 이거 요리할 때 잘 쓰는 표현. Put a sprinkle of salt in the soup. Maybe a mom would say to her husband or their son. A sprinkle of chocolate on top of the cupcake. Let's practice one more time. Hi, I'd like a latte with non-fat milk, extra foam, and a sprinkle of cinnamon on top, please. This is my drink. I really want to go to a cafe right now as we're talking about this. 저는 11년 동안 가르치면서 실수를 많이 봤습니다. 특히 공손하게 얘기하고 싶을 때 실수가 많이 하죠. How to speak politely in English. Now, think about when should you speak politely. A lot of times we want to be casual, to be friendly. 근데 공손하게 얘기하면 이거는 언제 얘기해야 될까? 어떤 상황에 얘기해야 될까? 그리고 그 상황에 오면은 어떻게 얘기해야 될까요? 이거 고민이 많잖아요. 그래서 제가 바로 알려드릴게요. 첫 번째는 I see a lot of times students using can you and will you. Now, these are totally okay. 근데 공손하게 얘기해야 될 때 would you and could you are much better. 예를 들면 can you give me that? Or can you pass me the salt? 보다는 could you pass me the salt? 훨씬 더 공손하게 들릴 수 있어요. Now, when do you have to be more polite? 예를 들면 when you're at work or you're with people you don't know very much. 그러면 반말할 때 언제 써도 될까요? Maybe when you're with friends or people that you're comfortable with. 그럴 때는 can you and will 괜찮지만 if you're not quite sure, could you, would you 쓰는 게 훨씬 더 좋습니다. Don't forget. Could you, would you. 자, 그리고 여기 발음 포인트 하나요. Could you. Here, the D and the Y blend together to make a J sound. J. Could you? Could you open the door? My hands are full. Could you meet with me for one moment, please? Could you call me later? I'm busy right now. But how can you answer? Could you open the door, please? I'm sorry. I can't right now. 여기는 can't 나왔잖아요. 여기도 발음 포인트 하나 있습니다. can't 하지 말고 can't. Can't. We're not pronouncing the T strongly. We're closing can't at the end. Can, can't. Can. Sure, I can help you. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Can you hear the tone difference? Can, can't. Wonderful. 두 번째, sit here. 하지 마세요. Please, have a seat. Here, we're adding please to make this order sound a little more friendly and kind. However, you cannot always just add please to make it sound nice. For example, please sit here doesn't really sound that polite. 이런 그냥 please 넣는 게 3가지 상황이 있어요. First, routine situations or invitations. For example, please have a seat. 제가 뭐 하고 있어요? 초대하는 거죠. Please have a seat. Please enjoy your food. 두 번째 상황은 친구랑 아니면 가까운 사이에 있는 사람들. Oh, sure, sit here. This place is open. 이렇게도 쓸 수 있습니다. 그리고 세 번째, in a sign. Please stay off the grass. Or please no smoking here. 이럴 때는 그냥 쓰는 거니까 뭐 공손한 거 상관이 없어요. 그러면 please feel free to listen more. 세 번째, it's hot in here. Open the window. 안 됩니다. 이거는 너무 명령처럼 들립니다. Instead, would you mind opening the window? 훨씬 더 공손하게 들려요. 그냥 open the window 하면은 excuse me? 이런 반응을 받을 수 있으니까 조심하셔야 됩니다. Now, let's work on pronunciation. Would you mind? Would you mind? Would you mind helping me for a moment? Would you mind bringing that book over here? Would you mind? Our intonation goes up on mind. Would you mind? Would you mind? Wonderful. Number 4. Hello, I'm sorry, I'm busy. Call me tomorrow. We cannot say this. This sounds too abrupt. 약간 무례하게 들립니다. Instead, would you be able to call me tomorrow? Would you be able to? 자, 그럼 여기는 how is it different from would you mind? Would you mind is 괜찮으세요? Would you mind? And would you be able to is focusing more on ability. 뭔가 가능하실까요? Would you be able to call me tomorrow? Would you be able to have the meeting on Tuesday instead of today? Would you be able to? 이거는 회사에서 아주 잘 쓸 수 있는 표현입니다. Would you be able to? 자, 그럼 답변을 어떻게 해야 할까요? Would you mind? Here it has mind. If you hear mind in the sentence, like would you mind or do you mind, 무조건 no로 대답하는 게 좋습니다. Would you mind helping me? No, I don't mind. What do you need help with? Do you mind bringing that over here? No, I don't mind. This is the right answer. 근데 would you be able to is focused on ability, right? Would you be able to help me? Yeah, sure. What do you need? 그래서 mind를 들어가고 있으면 no로 얘기하는 게 맞습니다. Would you mind helping me? No, I don't mind. Would you be able to help me? Yes, sure. What do you need? Okay? 5번째, 도와주세요 하면은 어떻게 할까요? I hear a lot of times, help me please. 근데 이거는 너무 급하거나 너무 명령처럼 들립니다. Help me, please, someone. 이거 아주 큰 상황이 있는 것 같아요. 근데 그렇게 큰 상황이 아니면 어떻게 얘기할 수 있을까요? Could you give me a hand, please? Could you give me a hand, please? Here, let's work on this pronunciation. Give me a hand. Give me a hand. 여기는 give me a hand 하지 말고 give me a hand. Give me a hand. Could you give me a hand, please? Oh, I'm carrying all these books. It's too heavy. Could you give me a hand, please? Number 6. Do we all think the same way? No, everyone thinks differently. So there are times when we want to say that we disagree. 저는 그거 아닌 것 같아요. 얘기하면은 어떻게 공손하게 얘기할 수 있을까요? What I hear the most is I disagree or I don't think so. And these are perfectly fine. However, when you need to be more polite and have better manners, there's a different way that we can say this. Number 1 is I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. 아니면 좀 더 공손하게 I have a different perspective on that. Perspective. I have a different perspective on that. 그리고 3번째, 만약에 다른 사람의 의견을 인정하고 싶은데 내 의견을 다르니까 I see where you're coming from, but I think this is the better way. 그럼 첫 번째는 I don't see it that way. 두 번째는 I have a different perspective on that. 그리고 세 번째는 I see where you're coming from, but I think that this is the better way. Wonderful. 이거는 특히 회사에서 미팅할 때 잘 쓸 수 있는 표현입니다. Number 7. 미안할 때 어떻게 얘기해야 돼요? 제일 흔한 건 I'm sorry. 근데 이거는 조금 가볍게 들을 수 있습니다. 특히 공손하게 얘기해야 될 때 이렇게 쓰시면 안 됩니다. It sounds too light and like you're not taking it seriously. Instead, I apologize for coming late to the meeting. Here, we're giving the reason. 이유를 말하니까 조금 더 진정성 있는 표현이 돼요. Instead of I'm sorry, I apologize for not replying to your message. I apologize for coming late. I apologize for missing that important announcement. I apologize for. 그럼 여기는 apologize 한번 발음 연습할까요? Apologize. 여기는 apologize. It has 4 syllables. The second syllable has the most stress. apologize. apologize. 여기는 마지막 syllable guys 너무 많이 힘주지 말고 apologize. apologize. 그리고 여기도 톤 되게 중요합니다. apologize. I apologize for. 너무 가볍게 얘기하면 안 돼요. I apologize for doing that. 이렇게 하면 안 되고 진정성 있게 I apologize for being late. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I apologize for saying that. This is actually from my book. So if you check out my book, you can find this and other wonderful expressions and examples for you to use in your daily life English. Great! Number 8. Sometimes when we're listening to someone talking, we miss something or can't understand. 이럴 때 어떻게 얘기하는 게 좋을까요? 한국말 하면은 다시 한 번만 얘기해 주실 수 있어요? Now, when you translate this, a lot of times I hear tell me again or say one more time please. 근데 이렇게 얘기하시면 조금 무례하게 들을 수 있습니다. Instead, could you say that again please? Could you say that again please? Could you say that again please? Here, our intonation is going to go up on the final please. Could you say that again please? 그리고 여기 again. Again 하지 말고 again. Again. Could you say that again please? Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't understand. Could you say that again please? Wonderful. Number 9. Now, this is something that happened to me last week. One of my students, he sent me a text and he had to take a retest. He was arranging the time to take a retest and he said, Teacher, I want to take the test at 4:30. 근데 이거는 조금 무례하게 들렸습니다. 왜일까요? He's my student, right? Then, if he's talking to someone at a higher level than he is, he cannot say, I want. This is a little bit rude. Instead, I'd like to. I'd like to. So, if you're going to a coffee shop and you want to order a coffee, what's right? I want a coffee or I'd like a coffee. Ding dong ding! I'd like a coffee is the way to order. Always when you're asking for something in a situation where you don't know the other person or it's a service situation like a restaurant, I'd like is better. I'd like a latte, please. I'd like. You're saying your opinion or something you want to someone who's in a higher level or position than you, like a teacher or your boss. I want 조금 센 표현이에요. Instead, I'd like. When would you like to have the meeting? I'd like to have it next week. I'd like. Here, I'd like. I'd. 여기는 I'd. I would. I would becomes I'd. I'd like. I'd like to go. I'd like to eat pizza. I'd like. 그리고 마지막 number 10. 와, 이거는 아주 재미있는 포인트입니다. 호칭들. Now this was one of the most confusing things for me when I came to Korea because there's so many different things we have to use. 뭐 예를 들면 가져갈 때 아주버님도 있고 이모님도 있고 이모부도 있고 너무 많잖아요. 헷갈려 죽겠어요. 근데요, in America, usually we just use names. For example, I have an aunt in the United States and everybody just calls her Lori or Lore. Using names is the most common way to call people. Even if I have a coworker and that coworker is older than me, I can just call their name. Oh, hi Lori, or hi Sarah, how are you doing today? This is very common. 하지만 안 쓸 때도 있잖아요. 제가 얘기해 드릴게요. 만약에 그 사람이 모르면 아예 모르고 어떻게 얘기해야 되는지 모를 때 그때는 using Mr. or Ms. or Mrs. is the best. In my family, my father was in the military and my grandfather was in the military and my brother was also in the military. And they taught me that being polite first is always important. If somebody says, oh, it's okay, just call me Scott, then it's alright. 근데 그거 하기 전에 무조건 공손하게 얘기하는 게 좋습니다. 생각해 보세요. 첫인상 중요하죠. 근데 그 첫인상에 누구를 무례하게 얘기하면 아니면 이름을만 부르면 조금 하게 들을 수 있잖아요. 그러면은 공손하게 먼저 얘기하는 게 좋습니다. So, for example, if you're talking to my dad for the first time, you might say, "Oh, hello, Mr. Thomas." 근데 my dad might say, "Oh, Mr. Thomas, just call me Scott." 이럴 때는 그냥 앞으로는 Scott으로 편하게 부를 수 있습니다. 근데 그때 전에는 Mr. Thomas. 남자를 부를 때 Mr. 여자를 부를 때 Ms. Ms. 아니면 결혼한 여자를 만약에 그 결혼한 거 알면은 Mrs. 그러면 if you're meeting a new person in this kind of situation, that's when you can use Mr., Ms. or Mrs. 그리고 하나는 teachers in the United States are always called by Mr., Ms. or Mrs. So I always called my teachers Mrs. Stye or Mr. Smith. In the States, I would be Mrs. Thomas because I'm married. If I wasn't married, maybe Ms. Thomas. My dad, if he was a teacher, would be Mr. Thomas. Good. 그리고 한 가지 더 있는데 박사 할 때나 교수를 있잖아요. 그러면은 그 타이틀을 쓰셔야 되는 거예요. 박사면 doctor. 신 박사 would be Dr. Shin because he worked very hard for that title. We want to acknowledge that hard work by using that title. If you're in college, you might want to say professor, Professor Lee. We don't say teacher Lee, but professor is more professional and polite in these situations. 만약에 그 선생님 아니면 교수님, 그렇게 부르지 말고 그냥 내 이름 편하게 불러. 그런 선생님이 있어요, 진짜로. 그냥 이름을 불러도 돼요. I had a few teachers like that in college. They really hated that professor vibe. So they said, just call my name. So I did. That time you can just 편하게 이름을 쓰셔도 됩니다. Great.
질문이 있어요.
저요.
네. 같이 일하는 동료들한테도 그냥 이름을 부른다라고 얘기해 주셨는데요.
네.
그러면 예를 들어서 약간 선배?
선배할 때도 그냥 이름.
그냥 이름이?
네.
그러면 부를 때 어떻게 불러야 돼요?
근데 약간 눈치를 만약에 보시면 Mr. or Mrs.를 붙일 수 있는데 like in your company, you might not call 신 박사 by his first name, right? Like it would be Mr. Shin. 그냥 if it's just a manager or something like that, first name으로 아무 상관없어요.
그냥 first name으로.
네, 오히려 if you use like manager or something like that, 어색해요.
호칭이 붙으면 더 이상해지는 거가.
네.
거리감 느껴지고.
거리감 느끼고 약간 왜 그렇게 부르는 거죠? 이렇게. 그냥 사실 제 생각에는 물어보는 게 제일 좋아요. 어떻게 부를까요? 그럼 Mr.랑 Mrs. 부를까요? 아니면 그냥 이름을 부를까요? 만약에 진짜 모르면 그냥 물어보는 게 제일 좋아요.
그러면 그거 어떻게 부를까요? 영어로는 보통 대화할 때는
Like this. Should I call you Mr. Lee? What do you prefer? 이렇게 하면 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
네.
이 10가지를 열심히 공부하고 연습하면 무조건 더 공손하게 얘기할 수 있습니다. 그리고 여러분들 혹시 어떻게 공부하세요? Do you study at your desk, at home, writing in a notebook, and saying it out like this? 사실 그러면 안 됩니다. I'll tell you why. Would you like to do this? Would you like to drink some water? Would you like to? 근데 이렇게 하면은 나중에 쓸 때는 그렇게 나올 경우 아주 높습니다. 그래서 그 사람이랑 얘기할 때 Would you like to do this? 이렇게 나오면 어떡해요? 진짜 Would you like to do this? 스마일 하면서 톤으로 진짜로 하면서 이렇게 연습해야 돼요. 진짜 같이 하셔야 됩니다. 그럼 집에서 공부하면서 Would you like some water? Could I give you a hand with that? Could you help me please? 이렇게 해야 됩니다. 너무 그냥 Could you help me? Could you do this? 이렇게 하지 마시고 Stand up, act it out. 연기하면서 하는 게 제일 좋습니다. 이렇게 하면은 나중에도 그만큼 자신감이 더 있을 겁니다. 네? 그럼 오늘은 여기까지고 너무 재밌었습니다, 여러분들. 다음에도 뵐게요. 바이바이! 그가 초콜릿을 좋아하는 것도 아니고 간식만 주기엔 부족할 것 같았다. He doesn't like chocolate and only giving snacks didn't feel enough. Versus, he's not into chocolate and snacks alone wouldn't be enough. He doesn't like chocolate 문제 없지만 약간 direct한 편이에요. I don't like that. 약간 그냥 난 그거 싫어. It's a little bit strong. Instead, we can say he's not into chocolate. 이거 약간 푹신푹신한 soft for casual speaking. He's not into chocolate. I'm not really into that. Can we do something else? Versus, I don't like that. Can you feel the difference? And here, only giving snacks is fine. But if you want to make it shorter and more compact, you can say snacks alone. Using alone like this is actually pretty common. Another example is money alone can't buy happiness. Now, instead, didn't feel enough. 이거 약간 어색한 조합이에요. 이렇게 하는 거 말고 wouldn't be enough. Now, here's wouldn't and here's didn't. Didn't is in the past, but we use wouldn't about something that is happening in the future or some kind of 상상의 future scenario. 그럼 이 상황에서 I'm going to buy a present for my husband that he will get in the future, right? 그럼 이런 상황에 wouldn't도 잘 어울리고 여기서 쓰셔야 됩니다. Now, let's go one more time. He's not into chocolate and snacks alone wouldn't be enough. Great! A few weeks ago, something happened to me that inspired me to make this video. I was talking with a Korean person and they said to me, I see. Now, I noticed something about her. First, she had a very deep voice. So I was like, wow, you have an amazing voice. But you shouldn't say, I see. No, 왜 이렇게 얘기했을까요? Why did I say this? That's because when you say I see with a flat kind of low tone, you actually sound frustrated or annoyed about the situation. This is a very important note for Korean learners. So think about it like this. When you're learning something from someone, you can say, I see, I get it now. But you have to raise your tone. I see. So if you have a low voice, don't say this. 바로 그때 제가 어떻게 했을까요? I explained to her what she can say instead. You have a really nice low voice. But with your voice, it's better not to say I see. Instead, raise your tone and say something like, wow, that sounds great, or sounds good to me. These are both very positive phrases that we can learn when we're agreeing with someone. So today, I'm going to tell you 5 situations and responses that you can respond to in English. Now, the first is if you're giving a positive response. I'm going to share mostly polite phrases here, but if you're in kind of a casual conversation, you can say something like, yeah, totally. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. But in a more polite way, you can say, that sounds good, or sounds great. These work in both polite and casual situations, so they're really great. Next is neutral or polite acknowledgement. We want to acknowledge the way that they feel, but we don't necessarily agree. We can say, thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Or, yeah, makes sense. These are both great ways to respond in a neutral way. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Makes sense. 그리고 좀 생각이 필요할 때 있잖아요. 그럴 때도 there's a response for that as well. Let me think about that for a second. 아니면 my favorite, that's a good question. If somebody asks you a question and you don't really know the answer, you can say, that's a good question. It gives you some time to think, and also maybe you can go out and find out what the answer is and then come back and answer it. That's a good question. Now, sometimes we disagree with someone, right? Now, in this case, how can we respond? I see your point, but I think we should consider another option. Or that's one way to look at it. Another approach might be, these are both very polite and professional ways to acknowledge the other person's opinion, but make it clear that you do not agree, and also introduce your opinion. 그리고 마지막, 많이 쓰는 거 바로 공감입니다. 공감. If you're talking with someone, you want to be able to connect and show that you're understanding and listening to them. 그래서 I thought about what do I use the most? And I use that must have been. That must have been tough. That must have been fun. That must have been interesting. You can exchange out your adjectives here. Now, don't repeat it too much, but it is a great thing to use when you're listening to someone's story. 예를 들면, somebody went to a movie and they're telling you about the movie. Oh, that must have been interesting. Maybe I'll go check it out too. 그리고 사람들이 슬픈 얘기할 때도 있잖아요. 그럴 때 어떻게 얘기할까요? Here, we don't want to say that must have been tough because that must have been tough is kind of a softer, lighter tone. Instead, something like, I'm sorry to hear that, acknowledges that pain or hard time that they're going through in a more deeper and understanding way. So if it's something light, like, work's been exhausting these days, you can say, oh, that must have been tough. But if somebody passed away in their family, then you'd want to say, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you doing okay? Now, today we talked about 5 different ways for you to respond based on the situation in English. If you want to hear more, let me know. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next time too. Bye bye! Usually quickly or briefly, and this is neutral tone. So it can be formal and it can be informal. Now, I hear a lot of mistakes with favorite because it's a really common word that almost all English students know,